Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be filming our first film in our new home here in Peakhurst in Sydney. So it's really exciting to start filming here. We've been in here for about a week or so, and today we're going to have our first look at the new wedge, the DJ5 from 14 Golf. It's a Japanese company. We've got Australian distribution here, which is great. We're going to have a look at the 56 degree in that DJ5. I've also got an RM4 here to run a comparison today, and you see I've got a bit of lead tape just to make the swing weights the same. This is one of my fitting wedges, and this one's built. So I've got them both with a dynamic gold 115. It's the same shaft, just different decal. Dynamic gold 115, and they're both swing weighted today at D5. I'll show you a few little differences. So if I put them down here on the ground, we can see that, the faces look similar. They look really similar. The fitting one here is the RM4, so you'll notice that's the RM4 with that there. Similar size faces, but if you pop back around on this side, actually, you'll get a better view of the top lines. You can see that the DJ5 is definitely thicker in the top line here. It's a little bit thicker compared to the RM4, and definitely thicker here. But looking at the faces, like I say, really similar. It's not a big, chunky wedge at all. It's hard to see offset, but it is a little bit more offset in the DJ5, just a tiny bit. So, who's the wedge for? It is based, I suppose it's designed for the average player. So most people will go from their pitching wedge, let's say they're using a full cavity set. They'll go from a pitching wedge and they'll move straight into a bladed wedge. And I never understood it. I thought it's ridiculous to go into, no offense to a Vokey or anything like that, but they're a beautiful wedge, but they're a blade. And you go into a club that's 52 degrees and you're hitting full shots with it, and it's a blade, and it just seems pointless to me. So there are wedges that have come out recently, CBX2 from Cleveland. They got a nice little bit of cavity to sort of match in with those cavity back clubs that you might be using. But the problem that I've found, over the last few years, when looking for more forgiving wedges, is that you can't get the same feel. So if you're familiar with, playing a Mizuno iron or a Strixon iron or one of these beautiful Japanese irons, Fujimoto, Miura, whatever it might be, they do, in all fairness, they feel way better than most of your run-of-the-mill golf clubs. So you go from these awesome, amazing feeling irons, even if you're playing blades or muscleback or cavity, and then you move into a wedge that just doesn't quite feel the same if you've gone down the road of a cavity wedge, right? So while a lot of the blade wedges do feel amazing as well, I'm yet to find a cavity wedge that feels the same. But I think this has filled that gap. I'm going to run some numbers on it. I'm going to do some testing. I'm going to compare the two, hit some chip shots, some pitch shots, some fuller shots, and just see how they compare. It is designed, in all fairness, because of this sole width here, it is designed to play square-faced. It's not really designed to be opened up because it's got a lot of sole width. You open that up and that sole is going to sit way in the air, the leading edge, sorry. So it's not really designed for that. It's designed to hit shots square-faced. So I'm just going to play square-faced shots today. I might try and play a couple of little open-face ones at the end just to see how it goes. The test ball today is going to be Titleist Pro V1X. It's got plenty of spin, plenty of launch on it. So I'll go ahead and I've set up to hit the DJ5 first from, say, 50 metres. So I've got the pin set out there at 50. It's usually just a little sort of a little pitch shot for me. Felt like that was a little short. No, it wasn't ready. Oh no, he is. I'll just hit 5, say. One jumped up a little bit on me. Felt like I got that a little higher on the face. It does feel good, like it feels easy to hit. Obviously it's pretty forgiving. Feels good off the face, that's for sure. It feels very comfortable. Got a little lucky rolled up. And I'll go one more. Okay. I mean, that felt great. It'll be interesting to see what, sort of spin and launch numbers we get. I'm just going to change over to, where do we go? RM4. And let's see, again, just going at 50. Oh, I chunked that. Got away with it, off the mat a little. Way out the toe. Probably more so than anything. Hit that one nicely. You can see I'm not hitting these too badly, to be fair. Not the world's best wedge player, but I think I've improved, in recent times, just using the quad to be, just getting some numbers, getting some feels for some lengths. That's that short one that's going to run up. I hit the same shot twice with each club. Very similar. They don't feel massively different. I can feel that this sole definitely is going to get into the ground a little bit more. I'm just using the S grind in the RM4. I can feel like it's going to get into the ground a little easier. Maybe have a quick look at these numbers. Compare RM4, DJ5. Compare just out of curiosity. Backspin, RM4. I mean, ball speed launch, RM4 launched a little higher, DJ5 a little lower. Really, really similar. I mean, I'm getting almost identical numbers. Look at the strike, can hit it out of the toe. I typically use a longer length wedge, but still, that's not great striking right there. If we look at the table, what do we got here? Similar ball speeds. The RM4 launched a little higher. Backspin's very similar, side spin the same, descent. So that the RM4 come down a little steeper because it got a little bit higher, 9.2 metres as opposed to 8.7. Both landing 46, 49, so really similar. If we go, I'm going to go into a longer shot, see if I can produce a similar, I might get that out to 75. I suppose I should relabel to be Fair. So let's go, get rid of all this. Let's go, what have we got? DJ5, and then we'll go from 75. Change that to a wedge, save. Okay. So we're going to go longer now. DJ5 from 75 metres. See if I can hit some half decent here. It's a bit short. Need to hit a bit firmer than that. Oh, I feel like I really picked that. It's short again. Let's go a little firmer. Little chunky Brewster. How far that one go? Carry 69. I'll have to go a little firmer again. That'll get there. Yeah, it's a better shot. They're better, those last two, for sure. Let's go another one. It's just hitting it firmer. Getting that. That felt really great. So if I, in all fairness, I should delete the first three shots because they were just a bit rubbishy. And I've got a sample size of 3. Table. Delete. Yeah, I'm sure. And then I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go into and find another colour. And then we're going to go RM4, 75 metres. Change that to a wedge, just for labelling purposes. Okay, and we'll see if I can get 3 like the last 3 with that DJ5. It actually felt to me that it kind of shot off pretty low. Like it felt really good. So it didn't catch the net too high at all. The launch at 30, I mean, that's a great number. Only peak height at 16.9. So that's a really lovely flight. See if I can do the same with the RM4. Yeah, that felt good. That felt really nice. Yeah, I mean, that's coming backwards. So that must have had a fair bit of spin. I'm not familiar with, I don't typically bring my wedges backwards. Because I'm playing the Fujikura graphite, even though, you know, like it's apparently the one that that does spin, the Fujikura graphite, it's really quite a low spinning shaft, so, which we found out in one of those last wedge videos that I did. How far that one go? The second one didn't quite make it. 73. I'll try and get one more. To give a fair comparison. Yep. It's on a number 2, so. I'll just go into the table and get rid of the short one. The second one. Delete. Yes, I'm sure. Let's go back to the comparison. And we'll just go the RM5 75, the DJ5 75 and the RM4 75. And let's have a look at the 75 metres. So this time, the DJ5 was a little bit lower ball speed. A little bit higher launch. Almost identical on the spin. I mean, they're good spin numbers. They're big spin numbers. 75 metres. They've gone very similarly. See if I got them any, oh, I got them closer to the center, well done. Very good. You'll see that the DJ5 in that instance rolled up the face. I got it a little bit higher on the face and the RM4 a little bit lower on the face. So that's kind of like, it's kind of like splitting hairs. I'm going to hit a couple of, just for, even without data, you know, not worrying too much about looking at this data, but just hitting a few with this DJ5. If I was to hit, you know, for example, you know, an open face shot here, you know, can I get this thing, can I get this really wide sole, can I get it under the ground, right, under the ball, I should say. And I am on a mat, and so it should kind of bounce, but I'll get my feet a little left and... I mean, I hit that nicely. I feel like I didn't have the ball in the right spot to get the... Okay, see if we can get a little bit of data on this actually. See if I can see where it shoots out quite high. But I feel like I can open face it. If I got even in here, and all we've got here is the little bit of synthetic grass straight on concrete, right? And, you know, if I get open in the face, that becomes difficult, right? That shot there, open face off concrete, it doesn't matter that the quad's disconnecting, it's fine. I'm not using it right now, so. A little open face on concrete, that one I got. The first one I mishit. You know, I would say the RM4, even in the S grind, it sits a little flatter on the ground here, and that's just much easier. In all honesty, that shot there off a really tight hard pan lie is very, it's never easy, right? But with the RM4, that's a pretty easy task. With the DJ5, rock hard lie, open face, it does just sit up a little bit more. And, you know, I got that one nicely again, but I can tell it's harder to do. A couple of them have rolled up the face, and you see there's two totally different shots. Like that one was low, the one before was quite high. So probably not quite as consistent, but, you know, at the end of the day, this DJ5 is not designed to be played open face. You can if you've got nice fluffy lies, but it's not, certainly not with sole width. It's not designed to open it up and get that leading edge just hanging right up. But as far as hitting like a pitch shot, a full shot, even a chip shot with a square face, this thing's amazing. Like it's, and we all know the reputation of the RM4. It's a really, really spinny wedge. This thing's spinning just as much, as you can see. They're launching very similarly, performing almost identically, but it's going to be more forgiving. So have a think about it. If you're in that category of not needing a blade, have a good consideration or look at that DJ5. Thanks for watching today's video. Make sure you click on like and subscribe. Let us know if there's anything else you'd like to see, and we'll see you in the next video.